Joining us now in Studio B. Typically it's a Matich Monday, but it's a Matich Friday on Media Day. It's Trevor Matich of BYUSN. Welcome back.
Every day is 6 Saturdays and a Sunday, so that's fun.
I like the way you view the world.
That's right.
It's better.
It was fun seeing your interaction with a fellow center, Ryan Pugh, as he left.
Yes.
You guys just speak the same language.
It's like a brotherhood.
Centers.
It's a brotherhood.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. I didn't know, I hadn't seen a picture of him, but I knew a lot about him. And I introduced myself. He introduced himself. And so I immediately asked him a question about the Auburn National Championship, and boy, he took off.
Yes,
he took
did.
off
He
with
lit
it.
up.
Yeah, it was really tremendous fun. It was about a play call near the end. If he chooses to tell you guys what that is on the air, I'll leave that to him. But it was tremendous fun. That's the thing, though. I mean, there's so much that happens in football between teammates that will never be told, right? And when you see a football player, very often it's like, okay, yeah, we connect, we know, let's get down to it.
Yeah,
and so it's really fun.
Are you as a center, do you remember most, if not every snap in the game and how that play went? Like LeBron James in the playoffs, remember when he's like, oh, I remember every play of this run?
There was a time when I could, but having been hit in the head for a living for 12 years, now I'm glad you guys reminded me that I played here. It's because I was like, oh, okay,
Get out of here.
I played here at BYU. That's really good.
You won a national championship, Trevor.
I don't remember. I did?
Yes.
Yay. My teammates, I'm sure, helped. No, but I don't remember every play, but I remember some individual triumphs, and I remember some individual not so triumphant things. That's the thing, though, is I travel the country and I talk to coaches. One thing about head coaches and assistants too, but head coaches especially, the games they win, the good moments, they remember for just a short time, and then boom, they remember it, but then they put it out of their mind. It's a past history. They don't want to think about it. The losses eat them forever, for all eternity. Every loss, and they can tell you every single play in every single loss. What happened? I was talking to Steve Spurrier at his office at the University of Florida just a couple of weeks ago, and we were talking about his time at Duke and when they won the ACC championship at Duke. I think it was the first time in their history. And he was saying, oh, yeah, and our fullback, he got hurt, and the backup came in, tells me the backup's name, height, and weight, tells me the plays that he did, talked about how that affected other people, and then these other backups had to come in, and he starts naming the backups. And then, and there was a 2nd and 3 in the third quarter where, the TV didn't show this, but when this guy did that, every single detail.
That's crazy.
Right? And so this is football. It's consuming, it's a passion, and it's an emotional connection, which is why you remember it.
Very cool. ESPN's Trevor Matich with us on 2018 BYU Football Media Day. Right now, coming off of a 4-9 season, yet BYU having the history that it has and a winning tradition, how would you define the state of the program?
State of the program is strong. Last year was an anomaly. And we talk about that emotional connection. The emotions last year were almost exclusively horrifically bad. And so people remember those things, as they should. I mean, that's part of the passion of college football. But keep this in mind, too, about last year. People make excuses. The coaches would never say what I'm about to say. But as an analyst, you can look at reasons why things happen, good and bad. And last year was a cavalcade of awful that caused dominoes to fall on both sides of the ball that BYU just couldn't overcome. And most teams wouldn't be able to overcome. Starts with injuries. They had 3 different quarterbacks start multiple games because of injuries at the quarterback position. Who's going to overcome that, by the way? Unless you're Alabama, that's got depth like crazy. BYU is more of a normal football team, right? Running back position was decimated by injuries. So they couldn't get any continuity in those positions. The receivers too often didn't fight hard enough for balls. Now, not all of them, not always, but enough that opposing defenses didn't worry about BYU receivers last year being able to consistently beat them deep. So what they did was they attacked the line of scrimmage like crazy. Quarterbacks rotating in because of injuries. Running backs rotating in because of injuries. Receivers not scaring defenders deep often enough. Some individuals did some good things. They are now attacking the line of scrimmage on run and pass downs. That made the offensive line look a lot worse than it was. That held the score down. And in 8 of their losses, they only managed 17 or fewer points. So the defense doesn't have a chance to get short fields from turnovers as much because you get turnovers when the opposing quarterback has to throw. And you can cause him to make an errant throw because of pressure or a strip sack in the pocket. Many turnovers, if not most, happen because you're pressuring the quarterback. But it's hard to pressure the quarterback when he's just like 3 steps gone, because they have the lead, right? So this dominoes that all fell, all added up to the season that BYU had. Now, that's not making excuses. They would never say this because I think the coaches and the players would think that's an excuse. But actually, it's a reality and it's an anomaly. This year, if they stay relatively healthy, if they get an even break with injuries, I think things are stacking up for BYU football to perform at a level that'll make the fans proud.
If BYU played Arizona this week, tomorrow, for example, who do you think would be the starting quarterback? That's the big question right now with this team.
Yeah, it really is. You know, Bo Hodge took the first team reps in spring, but right now I don't think they know who it is, and I can't tell you who I think it is. I can tell you the qualifications of who it will be. There are basically three things. One is, who does the team believe in? Because the guys in that huddle, they'll know who they have the best chance to win with. They'll know. And so who do they believe in? That's thing number one. Thing number two is knowledge of the offense. BYU actually has a really good stable potentially of wide receivers, pass catching tight ends, and running backs this year. The quarterback doesn't need to be Lamar Jackson of Louisville, you know, winning the Heisman Trophy and running around like a madman making plays. Just distribute to the right place at the right time. And the third thing is accuracy. You know, you've got to be able to get the ball there. It has to get where you want it to go. Now, you limit mistakes, all the other things you need to do. But if the team believes, the team will believe in the guy for him to be the starter. That guy will be able to process information quickly and know where to get the ball, and then he will have the accuracy to make sure the ball arrives there when and where it's supposed to be. And because of the nature of the guys competing for this job, I think that whoever does earn the starting job will be able to do those things at a high enough level for BYU's offense to look completely different than it did last year.
Yes or no? Could it be a freshman, in your opinion?
Yep, sure could.
Okay.
Yep, it sure could be a freshman. You know, Zach Wilson coming in, he's, you know, we don't know what he is. We know what he was in high school. Very exciting. But we'll see if he can be that guy. Joe Critchlow, I thought, showed a lot last year when he started the last 3 games. You know, last year he just came off his mission. You know, he didn't expect to be around. Next thing you know, he's starting for the Cougars.
3
and
games.
So, yeah. And so but he's got, I think, that mental capacity. I think he's got the potential for accuracy. Bo Hodge, I think, is a guy that's underrated around here. I mean, he got into a game a couple of years ago where he was sort of thrown in, not expecting to be there, went in. It was a bad situation. He didn't perform well. Boom, he comes out, and I think that's what BYU fans, you know, that was their view of him. You know, then at Utah State, he was doing really well last year before he got hurt.
Yeah.
You know, so I think Bo Hodge is a guy that's got the ability to compete for that job. And, of course, Tanner Mangum started a lot of games around here. So, you know, then there's another guy, Hall, I think it is, right?
Hall.
Yeah, just came off a mission. So the point is you've got guys that have some combination of experience, the mental capacity, and the physical capacity, that when it all gets shaken out, they'll get the best out of each other, and somebody's going to come out the top, and he'll be fine.
All right, Trevor, we've got 30 seconds left in this interview. Let's just ask you a true or false question. True or false, BYU going to a bowl game will be and should be viewed as a success this season?
True.
Okay.
True. Just because of the schedule is such that BYU can be monumentally better than it was last year and still not win 9 games. Now, it's not out of the question, but I think fans need to understand that they need to see the things that are indicators of progress, and they will see those things.
All righty. Trevor, great stuff. Great to have you back,
good
man.
To have you in
It's
studio.
great to be here,
It's
guys.
like once a year, and it's great to have you.
It's awesome. And we'll get back to Mondays. We'll promise.
Exactly.
Calendar will be happy.